Greetings everyone, this is me Zara, Berserk again. I was not coming here because I need to deal with my negative emotions, and that's what I was doing, and I felt like a self-defeating thing with the Muslims, some saying this, some saying that, and one book, but everyone thinking they are in the best way, they have understood Islam. So you may think you have understood Islam, and then we come to the same thing like last time with this person, Muslim, that it is God only who can punish, and it's right because then for paradise, for the end, so the means that God has applied, violent means, is right for the end to reach paradise or something like this. So I'm going to be talking on that. Let's see how far I go with it. Whether these punishments that you consider, sent down by God are right for the people. So either I can talk in a very faint voice or raise my voice, and sounds like I'm fighting. Sorry, excuse me, just had a little water. So I had I had my headache again and had to rest. It seems like too many Muslims with different views about the Quran. For example, you're also in Surah Nisa, we have whether these are lesbian women or women who, what is it? The ayat, I forgot, maybe 14, let's see. Yeah, so this is right. Whoever disobeys Allah and His Messenger. So let's start with this. And transgresses His limits, He will cast him into the fire to abide therein, and he shall have a disgraceful torment. So a fear cast for the well-being of Muslim who obey Allah and the Messenger, and so they are doing a great thing in this world, and to make this world a better place, right? So you feel as a Muslim you're doing great if you follow and obey Allah and His Messenger and do not transgress the limits set by Allah and His Messenger. Otherwise He will cast you into the fire where you will abide therein, and you shall have a disgraceful torment. And so Mr. Salahuddin brother comes with his own interpretation of the Quran and his own opinion about how good this is, and then it goes back to violence because God only, yes, God only. Let's see if this is a true God. You see, I have been showing that this is not a true God, and when Salahuddin comes, I wonder where he's from actually, and what he, which Ahle Hadith he said he's from. So, but there are different interpretations, we don't know. And others, you can't rule out other Muslim moment believers who say we also are believers and we understand the Quran. Hello, Renal Martyrs. Hello, did I pronounce your name properly? Sorry if I haven't. Renal Martyrs. And You see, last time in my previous live stream, he came back to saying that yes, if God punishes, it's God's punishment. Then and it's what did he say? That well, we can't say anything because it's for the betterment, and you will get paradise, and those who act bad will get hell, right? So okay, thank you very much, Renal Martyrs. YouTube recommended me your channel. Okay, this is for Muslims right now, but okay, I wonder if you will like this channel of mine. Uh, thanks to YouTube. Okay, you are a follower of Murtad channels. So there, welcome, Renal Martyrs. You can see for yourself if you like this. I do get angry and all. I cannot take lies, and I have some problem with negativity and all. So I wonder if you will like this channel or not. As for those of your women who are guilty of immoral conduct, some say that this is about lesbians also, and not only adultery and fornication, zina, but so the tafsir, let me show you the tafsir that I read on the men from the Sunni side, tafsir. Hope I'm not confusing you again here. Tafsir, my sound. See, punish both of those among you who are guilty. So they say these two are men also. Punish both of those. So both in Arabic would mean men. This is not the tafsir I was going. I went to before coming here. Quran.com, in Quran.com website. I want you to connect Indian ex-Muslim Sahil. Sorry, Renal Martyrs, he's different from me. I do my own different work here. I cannot expect this kind of a platform for myself over there. Thank you, I've been there, but I unsubscribed. Because also Adam Seeker goes there. He's a Christian if you are a Christian, and he abuses, you know. So when I'm not well, I start abusing, and I don't like that. I don't want that kind of company where I start to abuse. I'm working on myself, not to abuse people here when they don't listen, when they don't see. So the struggle is ongoing. I don't think he likes me, and I don't think I would go there to Sahel, ex-Muslim. I don't like their ways. And ex-Muslims, Adam Seeker is doing a good job giving a bad name. And yesterday I would have given a bad name to ex-Muslims by my behavior against a Christian here. Two Peter apologetics. So, I have to apologize for that. And I don't want to create more hard work here for the ex-Muslims. Where's the tafsir in this? So some say it's about zina, and some say it's about, can't get the tafsir that I want. And those of you women who commit Maybe it's 17. No, it was 16. So I have a hard time with Muslims. So where is that? Sorry, I just have to go and check here. So live chat is closed right now. I can't see the live chat. Or maybe I just put it off because I felt kind of defeated here. So against homosexuality too, there's a heavy punishment. So Lut's people, whether they were homosexuals or there were other sins also they committed, like rape and theft and robbery. So one of them was homosexuality. And we were told that they have an unsound mind and all this also. So if they have an unsound mind, then shouldn't we apply some sort of psychology, therapy, or spiritual way of healing them? So now you can see the art of living doing this. There's Sri Sri Ravi Shankarji in a mild, very good way. Uh, you really don't have to apply, God doesn't have to apply all these harsh methods. So here is Sri Sri Ravi Shankarji. And he's also spoken about homosexuality. So let me see. His art of living is doing a very good humanitarian work around the world, wherever they can reach. Being a homosexual is a tendency that may change later, says Sri Sri Ravi Shankarji. Oh, so he says here on Twitter, mobile.twitter.com, homosexuality has never been considered a crime in Hindu culture. In fact, Lord Ayappa was born of Hari, Hara, Vishnu and Shiva. You see, so there are different things in different dharmas and religions and cultures. Are you Sarah from Iran? No, I'm not Sarah from Iran. I'm not from Iran. So, my grandmother was from Iran. She's no more. My mother's mother. But I'm not from Iran. My mother's mother was married to a Pakistani, Khoja Sindhi. Okay, so thank God for this, Hindu. When you realize that there is a God who is understanding and in his loving ways, he can change us with his grace rather than impose such draconic punishments, severe punishments. You know, value that. Hope you see it and you value it. There has been an article on how distressing it has been for the LGBT. So instead of these Muslims saying that, oh, our God, defending their Islam and these draconic punishments, very severe punishments, that it will be better. Because the ones you never falter, I guess, and you've disciplined yourself in the harsh way, against your ego and all this, tamed your nafs, your soul, you feel it's okay. These harsh punishments are from God, and so they are licensed by God to be, meted out to others. So for you it is okay, but not for the other. Coercive, also, asking the others to kitab, that ayat I showed in my previous live stream, asking them that you should believe in this. If you don't, then you will be effaced and cursed and turned on your backs like that. So this Salahuddin was saying it is right because it's from God. But if you look at the psychology of force, you can see that we will be producing hypocrites. I mean, they will not come to this with their hearts. It's been very distressing for these LGBTs too. For psychology, you can check this. Let me see if I can find the article I found here on another tab. Homosexuality and scientific evidence. A lot of distress caused by these religions, that how they should be punished. They should be, there's a lot of prejudice also against them in society. So this is by Elon H. Meir. Abstract. Okay, I have this article here. Prejudice, social stress, and mental health in lesbian, gay, and bisexual populations. Conceptual issues and research evidence by Elon H. Meir. I can't put the whole article here, but on homosexuality, what's Elon H. Meir. Yes, this is the one. Prevalence of mental disorders. You know how it affects these people. So definitely, if there's a more peaceful, understanding way to look at this and treat this, or even understand it, if I don't think treating it would do any good, because it's not a disease, it's not a disorder. Renal Martyr says, Ahle Kitab is not today's Christian and Jews because of Tawbah Ayah 30. I see. Do you say it, or are you only the one? Well, now where are you getting this information from? Because the Shias and the Sunnis think Ahle Kitab is the Christians and the Jews and Christians. Are not today's Christian and Jews. Not today's. Yes, Uzair, was he considered the son of Allah? But I don't know. You see, this is the thing. It's really not. We're not sure how to go about the Quran ayahs. So if you can tell us, are you the only one who will be able to tell us, or is there someone else with you, a group of people? Huh? As a Christian, I am mushrik because I believe Jesus is God's son. Yes, so are the Shias, according to Sunnis' way of reading the Quran and the Sunnah, and so are the Jews. So if these are not today's Christians and Jews, then these are his time's Christian and Jews, and this Quran is for all times. Then this all-time Quran could have been written in a better way. You see, some come here, some Muslims come here. A Muslim came here saying that this is not how I see the Quran ayat. If I take him to the Sunnah, his own Sunnah, he says no. Well, this I would go for the Quran ayat first, and this is back and forth, and he's the only one. Very few of them look to Islam like that, right? But there are others who look to Islam through the Quran, sometimes Quran only. There are Quran only people, there are Sunnis, there are Shias, there are Bori Shia Sunnis, there are Ismaili Shias. I know Al-Baina, Surah Al-Baina, Ayat 6, differentiates between Mushrik and Ahl Kitab. Ah, a lot of contradictions. Yes, amongst the way how the Quran should be taken, yes, among the Muslims and believers, a lot of contradictions are there. They're not on the same platform, united, and each one is coming with their own thing. And what a case, individual case in Shia Islam was cannot be handled by our ulamas. It failed, and then so much sufferance for the person. So maybe you're not. Maybe these Muslims are not looking at the individuals, and each one rejoicing in their own. Sunni saying we are right, Shia saying we're right, Ismailis are saying we're right, Quran only are saying we're right. And then the last time was very shuddering for me. What Salahuddin said, a Muslim brother here, that it's okay. Let me just go to this. It's okay. Their faces will be obliterated. It's because God punishes them so that it would, they would, what? And get paradise? No, they don't get paradise even after the punishment. So the end is best for the believers. If believers do something wrong and punishment is like deserved, on them, it is deserving. So they get the punishment, but that their end will be good. Paradise they will get. Is that right to say something like this? So the minds are in Islam, I must say, I don't think it's right that God should be so strict, even for the end. Anyways, there's no, some of the disbelievers and mushriks will end up in the hellfire and abide therein. So that's not healthy. A lot of contradictions. And the way they, a lot of various different ways of taking the Quran, even in Muslims, like how the Sunnis take the Quran, how the Shias take the Quran, how the others take the Quran, Muslims. There are many different schools of thought in Islam. And in between all this, the punishments against homosexuals and also are strict. Adultery, fornication. Although they say, the Shia say that God has given us muta, Surah Nisa at 16 maybe. See, homosexuality? Now here we have on Surah Nisa at 16, tafsir, commentary. Homosexuality. The above discussion was based on the assumptions, you see, that both verses 15 and 16 relate to the fornication or adultery committed between men and women. So for how long this assumption was, I don't know. However, some commentators of the Holy Quran, including Qadi Sanaullah Panipati, are of the view that verse 16 refers to homosexual act committed between two males. Verse 16 is translated as follows. Now this one person, you see what has happened in Islam. Rani Marichar says, but Momo did everything that ex-Muslim don't want to take his name. If you don't like, okay, this is one, don't want to take his name if you don't like, has been exposing those things daily. Sorry, I didn't get you. Can you please put this in another way? But Momo, sorry, Renal Maritires, I have to just explain this, that these are very harsh punishments and I'm not prepared for this. I'm struggling as I go on. So if you would just, hold on to your horses until I finish with this. So if you would go with this, what is under discussion rather than give me other things, right? I would really appreciate that because I'm not prepared and it's very hard. The Muslims have given me a hard time. One Muslim enough here, he would just not stop believing in this Allah that sending harsh punishments, conversions. He got me really in this negativity again, back to my negativity. So I couldn't afford to come here. And I come here with a lot of, you know what I mean? I mean, Mohammed did everything haram in his life. Sorry, I don't agree to that. Right? He did haram, but the Muslims, how can you convince the Muslims that he did everything haram in his life? He did a few haram things, which, you see, you have to be very careful with the Muslims. No matter what I showed Salah in, he doesn't even believe in it, doesn't see it. He believes in the lies, in his own way, Islam. So this way, by just generalizing like this about Muhammad, we cannot bring the Muslims. And okay, now as a Muslim, I will say that you are wrong. You can, if Salahuddin comes here, you can have a conversation with him here, chat, and see whether you can convince him by saying this. I mean, they are saying that even Allah, who brings in such punishments, is right. And this is in Christianity too, right? Against homosexuality. But I don't know what the punishment is against homosexuality. But Christianity also does not allow homosexuality. And those of two of you who committed the shameful act, torture them both. Torture them both. So this is like Allah's divine law has come down. Punish, torture them both. This is good for them and for the society. Here the Arabic word used for those two of you is a masculine pronoun, which presumes males on both sides. Presumes males on both sides. On this basis, these commentators have opened that this verse relates to two males committing unnatural shameful act, i.e. homosexuality. The commentators who take both verses as referring to fornication or adultery refute this argument on the principle that in general usage masculine expression include feminine also. Now you see how many problems they have. One has come out saying that this is for homosexuality. So before they come to unity about this, I mean, this is grave punishments, torturing for adultery, fornication. One would say torture the homosexuals because Allah's laws have come down. Here are some traditions of the Holy Prophet and his noble companions on this subject. As now we are given the hadiths here. As narrated by Sayyidina Abu Huraira, the Holy Prophet said, Allah has cursed 7 types of his creatures from above the 7 heavens. He has cursed one of them thrice, while has cursed the others one time, which is enough for them. About the one whom he has cursed thrice, he has said, cursed is he who did what the people of Lut did. Cursed is he who did what people of the Lut did. Again, it says so many curses. You see, now there was the one I saw in the about the people of Lut. You see, he thinks that and I was like, what is like a very smart, intelligent way that the people of Lut were not homosexuals. People of Lut. Now you see, they can't decide among themselves what this is. I got an article on this, some Muslim mans. No, they were, some say that this way the Quran, ayats, feel very smart in this. Well, God knows, before you came, how they were punished. Some say they were robbers and they were rapists. And it doesn't say anything about homosexuality. Where's that article? Lut, it's, I know it's Lut. Oh my goodness. Lut, right? Are we? Lot and Lut are the same. Renal martyrs. In Arabic, it's pronounced Lut. Like the biblical narrative, the Quran states that Lut's messages were ignored. This is written by a Muslim. So, Lot, right? Lot's messages were ignored by the inhabitants of the cities, and Sodom and Gomorrah were subsequently destroyed. Now, some have come to God knows what here. Were they homosexuals or what? But looking at the punishments meted out to zina in zina cases also, I feel that another way should have been for me. But the long run, for the long run also, and for the time being, uh, punishments, forced conversions, punishments are not good. So this, I don't know if you will. So the feedback, I would like some feedback on this instead of what you are thinking, how Lut should be pronounced or what from the Bible. Because when they mention your Bible, so I would like to know, like, are these punishments, you think they are humanitarian, they're from the God, true God? So Allah did send Azab, not Azab to Ale Lut. Well, they say that they weren't, yeah, Allah sent Azab, his wrath. So, if, yeah, did he destroy? Did that help in making this world, according to him, a better place? Sinless. Did he destroy homosexuals or rapists or plunderers or robbers? Did this punishment work? No, it didn't. So did this punishment work? And homosexuals in the Quran, I don't know, the Lutz people, they're called like unsound mind or something, I don't know. What is it? Trespassers of unsound mind. And Lut offers his daughters to them. And they tell Lut that you know very well we don't desire your daughters. So God is really a great psychologist, physicist. We used to think that Prophet Muhammad was the greatest physicist of ours, doctor. Soul's doctor, mind's doctor. People of Lut, of unsound mind. Shameful practices. This will start with number 1, ayat 1. So this was just going to be an introduction. Let me see. I'm trying to look for words. Couldn't there be a better way, like loving, a better way of like some breathing, like God could have sent down that if you have this homosexual inclination, you could do breathing exercises like this if you want to, like let's say if you have a hormonal imbalance. So that way, in a very like gentle ways, send something in us. Look, if you want this, because this will lead to this unnatural, whatever, like from the religion, unnatural society. This is unnatural, as they say. So I can't find this verse which says Lut's people were of unsound mind. Maybe it was in another Quran translation that I had. Let's see if I could find the verses. There are many, and they have already come upon the town which is showered with rain of evil. The people of Lut denied the warning. Family of Lut saved. I can't read this properly. So I think better ways, peaceful and there are other ways, and treat things which we may find unnatural. Were Lut's people? Some say this is a PDF file. I don't open. Some say this, some say that. I don't know what it is. So you see, even the Muslims are not sure about this. So I wonder if someone can help me. No, not this one. So here we go. We have this. So you can come up with new things about Islam but the hadiths are there against homosexuals. I don't know, Lut's people. Quran ayats. Were the people of Lut homosexuals? That's where I should go. So if the Muslims want to stick to their religion, please don't impose your religion and your punishments on others. You could be doing a great injustice to these LGBTs. Because as it is, there are various also, you're not united in this. What does the Quran say about Quran ayats? Oh God. Oh, I can't find that. I just So modern Muslims have come up explaining what they think about the Quran. But there is a hint in the Lut people. They say, we don't want your daughters. You know. So there's one on homosexuality, perhaps, and the other is that they were raping. So there was a sin on, there was this homosexuality, sin of homosexuality, not accepted by God. Lut's people. I can't find it here. And then what is this? So force applied, they give a defense for this. Face, obliterate their faces. So Muslims, if this is great for you, please keep this religion to yourself. Surah Nisa ayat. I'm going to show if I can, after some contemplation, more contemplation on this, that force applied is not good, even if you think it is your Allah doing this. And efface your face. So this is not right, because if you apply force on me, I will, because people have different dispositions. So I'll have to speak about my life. Like, I wasn't a lesbian. They separated me from my teacher, or they thought maybe I loved in a lesbian manner. Then later on, they made me scared. So much so fear cast in me that I started to think weird thoughts about myself when I was never indulged in a lesbian act in my entire life until then, right? So I was in the American school, and we used to wear shorts. We used to go swimming. We didn't think like that even for one. I didn't think for one moment that a girl I'm being attracted to, or a romantic daydreaming even. And I don't think if they apply force on me and they separate me and all this, that you can ever make them, like they couldn't make me. I went to therapy. They couldn't make me forget my teacher who I love truly, and in a platonic way, pure way. So you may want to say that this religion is true, but it doesn't work in some cases. The punishments you apply on the ones you think are criminals, like gays and lesbians. But life, your way of fear, can even make the person a lesbian one day. You can push them. And no Shia helped me. None of my Shia prayers helped me, because I wasn't a lesbian and they were concentrating on that. I don't know what they were doing. But even the prayers to leave my teacher alone gracefully was not helping until something happened which was beyond the prayers and all, these Shia prayers and Shia help. In fact, it was a Christian priest, a counselor who had come from America, who told me that he can help me be with my teacher because he knows my teacher, Catholic teacher, in Karachi. He meets her at the catechumenic prayers in the evening, and he can help us, because he thought I'm going overboard. Like, I just, my love doesn't have any boundaries or anything. Please, please stay with me. Please give me 5 minutes. And when she comes for the wedding or family wedding or birthday, oh, please stay, for a while, Miss Tissa, and all this. So that was there. So he said, I can help you with my counseling and being there, help you not to go overboard with your teacher, with your feelings and emotions. Yeah. And if you punish these homosexuals, I asked someone in London, when I was in London, the guy told me that he went to a psychiatrist with his parents. He was, and the psychiatrist said that this is biological in him. Even the psychiatrist said he can't do anything. So you're saying this is Allah, and this is good. In the end, they all will be Muslims. So threatening them like this and forcing them to become Muslims and believers, they will have paradise in the end. So before we obliterate faces, confirming that which is with you before, the Quran ayat goes like this. And then we obliterate faces. I don't know. Obliterate faces. So believe, O you who were given the scripture, believe in what we have sent down, confirming that which is with you. So before you bring Christianity or anything in this, see that this religion is applying force just to make them believe. And then you're saying over there in Surah Tawbah, they broke the pact. That's why they were asked to be killed wherever they're found. Then you're saying in Surah Hashar, houses broken because they broke the pact. They opposed Allah and the Messenger, and at first they fought with him. Then you're saying here in Surah Fat against the Bedouins also, where it says you are hypocrites, and it says more about them. You're saying it's right to give them a fight, a mighty army. And then you're saying, no, Islam is about peace. So to bring peace, we need to finish these, kill them, hypocrites, finish, and all this, the crimes they do. Bedouins were asked. And there's more fitna against the Bedouins who said, forgive us. But you give me an ayat from Surah Tawbah and say that's okay, because at first, was it these Bedouins? Can you even trust in the hadith about the ayat in Surah Tawbah? These Bedouins? Okay, these Bedouins right now, at this time, please read for this time, at this time. What were they doing? 11th verse. And you have to praise Him morning and evening, different translations, wrong translations. Those who remain behind of the Baduans will say to you, sorry, I'm getting a little interference here, so I have to, my tone is like this. I wish I could gently put it. So there's a lot of obstacles against me here. Those who remain behind of the Baduans will say to you, our properties and our families occupied us. So ask forgiveness for us. They say with their tongues what is not within their hearts. Okay, so this, and they even changed the word of, how do they change the word of the, why can you people not see this? But you thought that the messenger and the believers would never return to their families, ever, and that was made pleasing in your hearts. And you assumed an assumption of evil, and became a people ruined. And whoever has not believed in Allah and His Messenger, then indeed we have prepared for disbelievers a place. You say this is right. And to Allah belongs the dominion of the heavens. But there are other ayats you must see that are not right, against the who are called the hypocrites. They're not fair. Those who remain behind will say when you set out toward the war booty to take it, let us follow you. They wish to change the words of Allah. What? How did they wish to change the words of Allah? Say, never will you follow us. So you'll say these kind of hypocrites, they deserve this, because they wish to change the word of Allah. How many ayats are there against believers who didn't want, and Allah needed to expose, from the believers, those hypocrites. Ali Imran verse, they were going after the booty. So is this fair to put this on them? Since even Allah says in Surah Saf, O you who have believed, or O believers, why say you what you do not do? Greatly hateful is in the eyes of Allah that you say what you do not do. But there were some hypocrites in the believers, and they are dressed as believers by Allah. So how are these Baduans changing the word of Allah? By saying this. This is wrong, and if anyone wants me to accept this, that this is right, Baduans were changing the word of Allah, words of Allah. Let us follow you. They were changing the word of Allah. What about those ayats which say believers are correcting, those ayats are correcting believers? So we wanted to expose the hypocrites from the believers in Al Imran. And what about this ayat in Surah Saf? So please see this for your security. You might want to defend this religion, not seeing those ayats the way I'm showing you, and you may be thinking that I am deceiving you. And you have understood every ayat in the Quran, you have read every ayat in the Quran, and you have understood there's no contradiction. O you who have believed, why do you say that which you do not perform? O you who believe, why say you that which you do not? Greatly hateful in the sight of Allah is that you say what you do not do. I'm not the one saying it. Baduans are not the one saying it. It is Allah Himself saying this. So I don't know how you were taught to read the Quran, but sorry, you're not the only one. There are Sunni Muslims, there are Shia Muslims, there are Boris, and the 1400 years ago, how the Muslims took it, earlier ones, and the later ones, after Prophet Muhammad's death, how the people were punished. And how you are taking the Quran, so you will say, no, take it my way. I know how this Quran is. No one knows better than me. Okay? So I gave you a chance. Yesterday, and they say that this is forced conversion is good because it will be good for their hereafter paradise they will gain. But before that, by forcing someone, you know the psychology of forcing someone? Some of them will rebel. Some of them will even go crazily, crazy rebelliousness will come out of them. Not everyone's disposition is the same. There is a Quran ayat on that. So let's say if you take me to be a lesbian, and then my father and the ulama with him try to discipline me. Right? I could go rebellious. I could even commit suicide. There could come out from me mentally distressed, mental illness. Because if you're trying to suppress something that is naturally there in you, or a pure love for your teacher, and you've got it wrong that she's a lesbian, so I would rather go for not go to the ulamas praying on me or something like this. I would go to Dr. Reeves because I start to think maybe it's some kind of Dr. Brian Weiss, groundbreaking psychiatrist, best-selling author of Many Lives, Many Masters. This is about regression, reincarnation, tells Oprah of how he came to practice past life regression. Maybe hypnotizing, maybe there's a past life. You never know why the person is doing this. Causes could be different for different people. I think like even a kleptomaniac who steals and all this could, go for psychology. A gambling problem, go for therapy. If spiritual programs like prayers are not helping them, so go for therapy, something like this. Find other innovative ways. Meditation now. things like that. Okay, so now Renal Martyrs, are you here? Do you have any questions? Please take loving, kind ways. What else is there? God says some hypocrites will be forgiven in Surah Azab. I found this 24, 25 now. 20. Oh, what? So the Bedouin Jews were told, Bedouin people who became Muslims, but they didn't want to help Prophet Muhammad. They were told that they will be made to fight such an army of mighty army. Now here, Allah says that Allah may reward the truthful for their truth and punish the hypocrites if He wills, or turn in mercy to them. Indeed, Allah is of forgiving, most merciful. Right? You say this is great, yeah, great. But the way those Bedouins were, again back to the Surafat Bedouins, those are, they changed. So they didn't want to help. Can you see that these ayats may not be right against the Bedouins? Let us follow you. They wish to change the words of Allah. Now this also. Although in the beginning, I think it's the 11th ayat here, they said, forgive us. The desert Arabs who lag behind will say to thee, we were engaged in looking after our flocks and herds and our families. Do thou then ask forgiveness for us? They say with their tongues what is not in their hearts. Say, who then has any power at all to intervene on your behalf with Allah, if His will is to give you some loss or to give you some profit? But Allah is well acquainted with all that you do. But you thought that the messenger and the believers, now here I doubt this, the Muslims are told that they will not be punished for what they think unless they act upon it. Unless they told the polytheists, fight Prophet Muhammad. Don't let him come here to Medina, back to Medina. But you thought, so on their thought and they're even blamed for changing the word of Allah. But you thought that the messenger and the believers would never return to their families ever, and that was made pleasing in your hearts. And you assumed an assumption of evil and became a people ruined. And whoever has not believed in Allah and His Messenger, then indeed we have prepared for the disbelievers a blaze. And to Allah belong those who remain behind will say, when you set out toward the war booty to take it, let us follow you. So here we're told they wanted the war booty, but they did not want to go and protect the Prophet or go for war with them, but they wanted the war booty. Let us follow you. They wish to change the words of Allah. Because they did not engage in the war and they want the war booty, so they are wishing to change the words of Allah. right? Right. I suspect something not right. The family of Prophet Muhammad gets war booty, right? I mean, I can show you the Surah Hashar ayats. But let's say the daughter has not engaged in, but Ali has. So Ali will get the war booty and thus the daughter will get it, you would say. I still tell you that this is a very clever person. Remember, O believers, when Allah promised you, and you, okay, but there you would say that they didn't participate in the war, still they want the booty. They're so greedy. And they wish to change the words of Allah. How can they have the war booty when they didn't participate in the war? That he should establish the truth. Okay. Does it say here who the war booty belongs to? Allah and the Messenger, where is it? No. So yeah, I have to take you to so did the Jews give, where did Fadak come from? Safe to go to Wikipedia for me. Was a village, fertile land, and an oasis near Medina. The takeover of Fadak by Muslims in 629 CE was peaceful, and a share of it thus belonged to the Islamic prophet Muhammad. After Muhammad died in 632, Fadak was confiscated from his daughter Fatima. So it was given to Fatima and administered as a public property. Despite her objections, Fadak later changed hands many times as a fief. History, a Jewish Khaybar. In the 7th century CE, the Khaybar oasis was inhabited by Jewish tribes who made their living by growing date palm trees. The oasis was divided into 3 regions, namely Al-Natat, Al-Sheikh, and Al-Qatiba, probably separated by natural diversions, such as the desert, lava, drifts, and swamps, and each of these regions contained several fortresses or redoubts, containing homes and storehouses and stables. Each fortress was occupied by a clan and surrounded by cultivated fields and palm groves. To improve their defensive capabilities, the fortresses were raised up on hills or basalt rocks. Lifetime of Muhammad. After the success of Muslims in the Battle of Khaybar in 628, the Jewish inhabitants of Fadak pleaded for a peace treaty in exchange for half of their properties. Unlike Khaybar, Fadak was acquired peacefully. It was thus considered fey and belonged to Muhammad. Okay, I'm not well now. I don't know how the Shias do their, judgments. what do you call that? Insaf ka tarazu, weighing judgment. Huh? I don't think a great prophet would. There is some evidence that Muhammad gifted his share of fadak to Fatima. Congratulations, please keep your religion. Okay? I don't know if I can I can't change your mind, but मुबारक हो आपको आपका रिलीजन, आपकी फातिमा और आपका उसका फदक.